Question Nation, someone number 8. Welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQP. Now, in this video, I want to give you a lineup, my lineup prediction. Obviously, we will be looking at most of the players that have traveled to Zambia. So, before we get there, guys, there is something that was said by Kelvin Motafo. By the way, if you do not know who Kelvin Motafo is, he is the CEO of Zesco United FC. So, according to him, this is what he's saying. He says, Kaizer Chiefs, I think I have been a customer of Zesco. We can do a double because what we need to do is win them home and away so that we are back in the race. They are very bitter. Zesco has had the character to turn the tables against Kaizer Chiefs. So I'm just appealing to the fans to come in numbers. Gushe get Kelvin Motafo. Guys, well, this one is a bit interesting because what he's saying, it is true, but also he doesn't know this Kaizer Chiefs that is coming to play tomorrow, because so far, guys, Abajita, I've been training. I don't want to lie to you. I've heard some of you on the comments asking me, and also there's this brother of mine we always talk on WhatsApp. Boys would okay, QP, what is happening with the boys, or what's been happening? I'm jealous. No, Abajita, I've just been preparing and training, preparing for tomorrow's clash, because we are playing tomorrow. So far, yeah, man, it looks like Abasizwa. It looks like Abasizwa, they are hoping to see what we can bring to the table, but already Bazanale mindset to Kaizer Chiefs has already lost, which I feel like that's where they are wrong. I'm happy this is not a knockout game. It's a game for my point. It's more like a league. So the only thing that we need to do, because when we win the CAF Confederations, that means also we stand a good chance to win the Betway Premiership. The reason why I'm saying this, today I was disappointed by Orlando Pirates. They played against this Kukune. I thought Nagajani they were going to win for sure, but it looks like Ronaldo Liena, yeah, he's doing exceptionally well, and also some of his Kukuna United players. So it's interesting how the game ended on a nil score. Maybe, just maybe, chances are they're going to be abrupt with the Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates when it comes to the league. But anyways, I don't know. Sobo number 2 Tina, we are playing against Murumukalat. Not we might lose, but if we win, because now Orlando Pirates and Sundowns, they are on 29 points. Obviously, Orlando Pirates still has a game in hand. If they can win that game, then definitely they can leapfrog Mamelodi Sundowns and get back to number 1. But if they don't, and Tina's a winner, this Wednesday, not this Wednesday in 28, I meant to say, when we play against Murumukalat, that's where tables can turn, because if we win that game, then definitely we are going to number 1, straight number 1. So it's gonna be interesting to see who's going to finish number 1 this season, guys. It is very close. It is very close, and with few games left. So anyways, getting back to a lineup, because obviously the lineup prediction, we do have the list of the players who went to Zambia for this game that we're going to play. So I think I should start with just giving you guys the list in Jelot. Okay, this player and that player went there, and this player and that player went there, so that you guys don't say, but QP pikanga or Tabotelo or Gaston Sereno on your lineup prediction, so that you guys understand, no, but Cheetah, they are not there. So this is the list of the players who went to Zambia for this CAF Confederation against Zesco, which, by the way, they think we are going to lose. We have Brendan Peterson, Bruce Vuma, Nakalan Mazamba. We have we have Tabiso Moyane, Dylan Solomons, Aiden McCarthy, Paseka Marco, Given Msimango, Zita Kwinika, Inaso Mikael, Tulani Mabaso, Spacey Ndlovu, Lebuhang Maboe, Nkosi Mphile Ngobo, Tuduzi Shabalala, Ule Modi, Asanele Velepai, Makabi Claudi Lelepo, Luke Batman, Kanyisa Mayo. Also we do have Talapana, Flavio da Silva, I don't know why Udona Umfundo simfake ekugcineni, but anyways, there's also Fundo Vilakazi. I know he's not ekugcineni, but here on this list simfake ekugcineni. So Fundo Vilakazi naye ukhona, as I've said. So for me tomorrow, when we play against Zesco, because so far Lalili Nabo, and we know what kind of opponents they are. Yeah, but they like to punish people, especially the ones who make mistakes. So last when we played against them, similar thing happened. So this game, I'm hoping no mistakes that are going to be made. So I would say moreover, I would prefer to start with Brendan Peterson, obviously, as the number one goalkeeper, because so far there's no goalkeeper with the most clean sheet on the Betway Premiership currently this season rather than Brendan Peterson. So Mchita deserves it. He even deserves to be there on the FIFA. And then we look at the left back. Obviously, we have Pasaka Marco and also Aiden McCarthy who can both play that left back position. So if we're playing Aiden McCarthy, then definitely we need someone who's going to be disciplined lapana with center back. So playing Inaso Miguel, obviously last game he costed us against the Zesco. It was a matter of this and this and that. So now I'm hoping if Stalangai, things can be a bit different. I can't start to give him Simango, guys, because he has not yet played any games. So starting him and then Fago Mikel Benchini, that could cause some sort of destabilization, because one thing I've noticed with Mikel, when we played against the Golden Arrows with Aiden McCarthy as a left back, he was making sure even though their communication is not 100%, but he would make sure whenever Aiden McCarthy is upfield, he tracks back and then though that is a bit of a problem, because when we get a team like Zesco, those guys, they know how to punish opponents, unlike Golden Arrows. Golden Arrows, basically, 2 chances which they could have scored, but they could not capitalize on them. So if we play Inaso, we should play Umago. But if we don't play Inaso, then definitely we can play Aiden McCarthy, because McCarthy, I feel like McCarthy can play as a center back, and then it's Lalumako. Both those players, they tend to move up front a bit more, you understand? So that might be the problem that is nayo on tomorrow's game. So yeah, I'm having a hard time right now voting who should I pick for this game. But with Umako, we know he does try by all means to give us speed, and he does try to be a bit more disciplined when it comes to that left back position. So with Aiden, you know, he's being allowed to Mfana just play that free role, do you, and be who you want to be. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. But as I've said, if we're going to play Aiden McCarthy, then we should make sure Inaso Mikael is not a center back. But if we play or Aiden McCarthy as a center back, then Umago can be played on that position. I do not mind. Umago actually can play even if it's Aiden or it's Inaso Mikael. Both those players, that's fine. I don't have a problem with them. And then we move to I was speaking about left back, right back. Obviously, we have Umchitalapa now, Tabiso Monyane, and also Dylan Solomons. I feel like we should start with Dylan Solomons. There's no need for us to start with Monyane, because Monyane is still, you know, getting back his momentum, still trying to find his feet back to where he was. So let's start with Dylan Solomons, and then we can bring in Monyane later on in the game, because we know with Solomons what we are capable of, and I feel like he's just going to do it over and over again until Njebazimamlemaza. But for now, let's just bring Dylan Solomons, and he's going to give us what we need. And then we look at the center back pairing. Obviously, as I've said, if we play Aiden McCarthy, obviously we can play him with Uzita Kwinika, or we can play Inaso Mikael with Uzita Kwinika. I do not mind in that department. And then we look at the defensive midfielder, guys. Now, this one is interesting. We do have Thulani Touch Mabaso. By the way, Thulani Touch Mabaso is an original DM by default. Yes, I see him being played centrally, or actually double pivot. It's like playing both 6 and 8, both of you guys. So let's say it's a double pivot. We don't have the number 6. We have both of the players playing number 6 and number 8 role. So all of them they can be able to interchange the positions and play the same position as courtesy one. So now we do have Utabiso, not Tabiso, I mean Tulani Touch Mabaso, and then also we have Uspesihle Ndlovu with Lebogang Maboy, who can play also that position. Yes, I know there are other players that can play at that position, but most importantly, those are the ones that we are looking at, because Lababanya already they've been given roles. So with that double pivot, I think, guys, we have to continue where we left off. Let's start with Uspesihle Ndlovu and also paired with Lebogang Maboy. I know last video that I talked about, it felt like I was complaining, but let's be honest, that double pivot, Yabo Abachita, was working for us. Maybe Ndlovu was working a bit more, but I understand he was obviously given that role. So let's start Ndlovu and Maboy, or we can start Ndlovu with Mabaso. No debate, Ndlovu is always gonna start. Ndlovu is a starter, and then with those two players, then we can see which, okay, maybe we can bring in Utouch, or maybe we can bring in Lebogang Maboy. Please, guys, before you comment and say we can't be fielding young players on a CAF Confederation game, guys, those players have proven. We've played in Netherlands. We were playing different teams. It was more like ECAF. And so far, the youngsters were the ones that were leading the ropes. So we can't say we cannot fold them. How are they going to learn? How are they going to, understand pressure if they are not being introduced to pressure? So talu complain amasespafage gwamanyama game, and then there's pressure, and we'll be like, how much, why in none? But at least if we can see them on some of those games, then definitely. I understand some of you will say, but this is CAF Confederation, we're still left with 3 games. After tomorrow, we're gonna still be left with 3 games. So I don't see any problem with starting Utulane Mabaso. And then moving on to let's jump double pivot. We look at the attacking midfield. We have Nkosimpile Ngcobo who can play that position. We have Mduduzi Shabalala. We have Mfundo Vilakazi. Luke Batman, I'm not too sure. But to the Pai, I know he can play that role. And then who else? Attacking midfield. I think that's all. So with the attacking midfield, this one is a bit tricky, guys. But I think for me, I would opt to play as a starter. Guys, we can't change him. Let's just start him. It's fine. We can change him after. Let's start him to do Shabalala. But I would have loved to see the coaches starting with Nkosimpile Ngcobo, because Nkosimpile Ngcobo, I will explain to you why. Nkosimpile Ngcobo is someone who can try by all means to give the ball to Abajita Beit. With Mduduzi Shabalala, I haven't seen much of that. Sometimes when he's supposed to pass the ball, Ashamat will pass to the forwards way to he would opt to shoot. And when he's supposed to shoot, he would opt to pass, which for me doesn't make any sense for now. But I know Mfana will find his feet again, and he will be back to them do that we all know and love. But anyways, as I've said, I would love to see Nkosimpile Ngcobo as a starter. And fielding Nkosimpile Ngcobo, that means I'm going to be playing Flavio da Silva as the striker. I know you guys might think Silva had a bad game last game that we played against the Golden Arrows, but to be honest, Silva had a good game and he was doing a lot more work than what he was supposed to be doing. So me saying let's play Silva, I know those passes Mdu does tend to have those passes, but Wagamshini Ngcobo, obviously they're going to find him, and that's what we need. We need goals. We need to make sure that we score as many goals as possible. So let's field Umshini Ngcobo and also Flavio da Silva. Do or die ngambeka nje kancane or ngimlande ngale kulela side like alithandayo as a winger. But I know the coaches, since we've brought Pulemodi, they will try by all means to bring in Pulemodi because of the back. If a mover we are playing Umako, then they will play Velepai. But if we are playing Umchita Ufana no Aiden McCarthy, I'm sure they are going to opt to play Pulemodi because obviously he's a bit of an older player, senior player. He does have sort of like experience compared to Uvelepai. But so far with Uvelepai, I was impressed on how he manages to track back and do the work. But so far with Upule Modi, I think I'm impressed with how he's been defending for the team, playing mostly as a wing back. He's been, superb. But going forward, something is missing. And then we look at the right winger. Well, they've brought Tulilepo. We have put Upatman. So let's start Tulilepo, find his feet, and then we bring on Upatman. I don't think we can start Upatman, guys. It's gonna be a very difficult game. I'm fighting the pressure. So let's start with Tulilepo. Get us at least 1 or 2 goals, and then for Upatman just to add more goals. Well, I don't know. This is what I think on my lineup prediction for tomorrow's clash. I don't know. Now you can let me know down in the comment section below what do you think about tomorrow's game. Who would you like to see being fielded for us when we play against Zesco, which by the way they think they've already won the game.